Thanks so much for tuning in. This is your January 2020 reading. My name is April Kamara. I'm a mindset coach and medium. I really wanted to find a fun way to get on YouTube and start making some videos, and I just love watching all the tarot readers. So I figured I would start my own little version of that. And since I'm not a tarot reader by nature, I really only have this one deck of tarot that I really like to use based off its symbology, and I just kind of channel messages from that. So in this reading, you're going to get your theme for this month. You're going to get an archetype that's requiring grounding, and you're also going to get some kind of spiritual practice to really help solidify the energies of this month for you. So this is good for you if you're a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's get started. I just ask that you take a second with me and kind of place your hand on your heart. Take in a deep breath. And just set the intention that you're going to take whatever resonates, leave the rest, and that this be a transformative message for you this month in January. All right. So the deck that I use is the Hermetic Tarot. I don't know why I just found this tarot deck, and I'd never vibed with tarot cards before, and it just really spoke to me. So what do the Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, what are their themes for January 2020? Sagittarius theme for January 2020. Yeah, when I first started developing my mediumship, I'd never used cards before. And the medium that I worked with, she was like, use angel cards. They're really simple. And I remember I'd use those cards, and every time I would draw, trust your intuition, you know. But on somewhere like YouTube, I feel like getting a mediumship reading, it's so personal, you know. You really need to have trust for the reader. Okay, you guys, this card just flew out. The High Priestess. This is a great card. I love this card. So yeah, I wanted to use the cards in a way that was true to my gifts. And since I actually really vibed with this deck, I was like, yeah, I'll just use this deck and channel a message from that. I don't stick to the traditional tarot. If I know the traditional tarot, then and that resonates with with a message coming through, I'll definitely bring that up. But if you have a specific understanding of the tarot and it resonates with you more than what I'm saying, by all means take that meaning. I truly believe we should be honestly tuning into our resonance more so than any other reader on YouTube. It's just fun to do this for people, and connect with people in a different way. So to me, the first thing that I'm being shown with this card for the Sagittarius is there's this crescent moon right above this woman's head. And to me, there's this feeling of new beginnings, The High Priestess is the second card of the tarot. It's the second card, and it truly is kind of taking a new beginning and really grounding that energy. She's sitting on top of surrounded by all these spheres. She's got horns on her head, some kind of it looks like she's holding a harp or something in one hand and a book in the other hand. She's not messing around, but she's also not fazed by anything. She has her focus. It looks like her focus is either on that book or her eyes are closed. I can't tell. But to me, what I'm getting from this card is it's the part of your manifestation at the new moon really is kind of getting into the vibe of what you want, So this month for you guys is very much Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. It's very much embodying that the energy of what you want first, right? That feminine receptivity. Her eyes are closed, She's not going out trying to take all this major action. She is gathering her resources. All these spheres around her are power that she's drawing from. So there's this internal world that you guys are kind of tuning into and like bringing power from. And you're either at the place where you're doing that naturally, or you're at the place where you're learning how to do that this month. And where this energy, maybe at the end of the month, will be a lot more succinct and like valuable to you, more so than it is right now. Let's see if any other messages come through for you guys with this. So the one thing that's coming through with this card is to be in the moment. You know, like as a Sagittarius, you can have that like fire energy and want to go, 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 right? And it usually really serves a Sagittarius to do that. You just want to make sure that you're still taking time to like actually be present in the moment, right? Like to actually be drawing that energy from within yourself instead of externally, right? Okay, so the message that I'm getting is like these spheres, right? That, I don't know if you can see it. She has these like columns next to her and they're holding all these different spheres. But the message that I'm getting right now is that these spheres aren't actually external to her. Like she is in her inner sanctuary right now. Like the high priestess truly is in this like inner world type like meditative place. Her eyes, like I said before, are closed. So if you don't have a meditation practice, if you don't have a connection to like a higher power, if you don't have a connection to, you know, a way that you receive energy that's not so externally focused, then you really want to cultivate that this month. Because, you know, the message that I heard when I was looking at this is like, you know, these spheres are wisdom and oh my god, there's like spider webs on my thing already, like connected to my phone or something. That is crazy. I'm like seeing a spider web right now. Sorry, Gemini, like little distraction. But these spheres are actually her gifts and talents that she's brought from other lifetimes that she could not access if she had been in a chaotic state, if she had been scouring the external world for these things. These are internal spheres that live within her, right? Like she is in her like inner meditative place. So you want to like really, this is like her inner world. The high priestess is all about the inner world, creating the inner world first that matches the exterior, that like brings about that exterior. So like whatever it is that you're like focused on, that you're wanting, that you're like, you know, really desiring this month, create that space within yourself. You know, like go within to assess your talents, to assess your abilities, to assess your strengths and your weaknesses, and really cultivate those weaknesses within you first, right? Like don't get too caught on trying to get someone else to give you something, right? This is an inner work world, or an inner, this is working on your inner work, that type of card, okay? It's inner work. Inner work, inner work. I don't know how many more times I can say that. I swear, like it sounds like my cat is inside, like fucking shit up right now. So I'm just like, dear God, please don't be like ruining my house inside right now. All right, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, January 2020. What do you guys need to know? What archetype needs to be grounded within them to help them with this high priestess energy? The high priestess energy is such a beautiful energy, by the way, too. It really is kind of like taking the physical world and like turning it into like a creative, artistic process. Okay, what'd you guys get? The King. All right. The King. So there's this like man with his hand up like this, and he has like a red circle in his palm and all these like really base chakra colors coming out. So to me, what this is saying is like, Sorry, I just get really quiet like when I'm like when I'm like listening to spirit, because there's like a really deep message here. So the first thing that I'm getting from this is like the king, like when I think of this, I think of someone who is like masterful, like working with their hands, right? Like masterful working with their hands, masterful like working with the physical world, masterful when it comes to like getting things done. Like most Sagittarius, as I know, like work hard, play hard, 1001%. Um, what I'm also getting though is like it's the perfect balance to the high priestess energy, right? Because like not only for this month, like to achieve what it is that's like coming for you or that you're preparing to build this year or this month or whatever kind of goals or manifestations you have, it's the perfect balance archetype for the high priestess, right? Because the king is like the gainer of material things, right? What does the king do? The king has a whole kingdom at his like foot, right? Like he gets to like direct the kingdom, he gets to tell the kingdom what to do, he gets to do like whatever basically he wants, right? But with this knowing that he's 101% capable of leading people materially, of leading a society, of leading, you know, if there needs to be war, if there needs to be like, you know, reallocation of goods, reallocating goods, all those things. So truly what I believe is the same for the Sagittarius is to not neglect the physical work, but look at it from a king's point of view, right? Like look at it from the place of, you know how to do this, it's all within you, you've cultivated your inner world, and then it's going to take like diligent like work to get that to be done. But the thing about work is that when you have the high priestess and you're in alignment with who you are and you're in alignment with your soul, it really takes minimal work to get what you need to get done, depending on like what exactly your goal is and where you are in relation to that goal. You know, so that's where it takes like your understanding of like, well, what am I creating this month? Have I like, you know, have I mastered the things that I need to do? Have I like gotten to that inner world place and now I need to take action? Or do I need to take more action and like just make the inner world thing something that I do amidst that action that keeps me centered and grounded? Or is it something where maybe you've got the action part down, but the inner world is kind of creating some nonsense or chaos for you, and you need to really focus on like making that more of a priority so that way you're living that nice balance. All right, so let's see what the king has for the archetype books. I like to read the light and the darker aspects. 85. So when in the light, you're benevolent, you have divine leadership, and you're in service and nobility. When in the dark, you can be oppressive, you can misuse your power, or you can have corruption, right? So like I said before, like most Sagittarius I know, like super powerful people, they love to work hard and play hard. The question this month is, how are you going to embody that archetypal energy? And are you going to let the theme of this month be disrupted by a higher or a lower aspect of that king, that inner king that you have inside you? Because Sagittarius, honestly, like super magical sign, I feel like. Super magical sign. So keep that in mind. I'm going to pull you guys a card from the spell deck. It's like a spiritual practice for January 2020. All right. What did a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising in January 2020 need, want, desire? What are they missing? What can help them really ground not only their high priestess energy, but their king energy together in harmony? on Spirit. Okay, this one kind of jumped, so. So this card is Habondia. It says an invocation for Habondia, she of abundance, a goddess of plenty who bestows generous gifts, bounty, and endless resources, which like goes great with you guys' reading for this month. On the full moon or during Ostara, Beltane, or midsummer, gather flowers, a loaf of bread, fruit, and honey. Place on the altar and light a green candle in honor of Habania. Recite the following chant 3 times. I bless this food with wealth, health, luck, and regeneration. With Habondia's blessing, my cabinets, wallet, home, and heart are filled with all I require and desire. For this generosity, I am ever thankful. Blessed be. So, what better card for you guys than a card centered around abundance? Because truthfully, if you master the theme and the archetype that you're grounding this month, you'll be super abundant. So thanks so much for watching this. If you're wanting to work with me further, I do Reiki readings and coaching. I'll leave all that information down below. If you want to like, share, subscribe this video, leave a comment on what you felt, what came through for you. If you really vibe with my style of tarot or not, whatever. Let's just chat down in the comments, and I will talk to you guys and see you February 2020. Bye guys.